If we improve the quality of the pasture, reducing the concentration of nitrogen by 50%, we've already met their 30% cap by doing that one thing alone. But is that knowledge being translated to the farmer? It's not.
Which is why we're here, Graham.
Through good management practices and fertiliser use, raise the carbohydrate content and energy level of the main diet, the pasture.
That's the main thing.
That's the main thing. And reduce the immature protein content of the pasture. And get the quality of the pasture and the feed into the animal as their staple diet. I mean, if we did that, we could reduce more than 50% by a country mile.
It isn't the mainstream farmer's job to feed agribusiness.
We're such a cynic, isn't it?
It's true though.
Someone spoke to someone once and they said, what do you do? He said, I farm farmers.
Yeah. And they have nothing, they have no deals with
Someone
it.
said that we were talking to you last
That's
time.
outrageous.
That's very true. Yeah. There's a business of farming farmers. Jerry Brunetti says everybody's making money out of modern dairy cow except the farmer.
How does a consultant advise you on, like how to look after a living entity sort of thing? They can't even grasp the intricacies of what's going on. All their formulas must be, because of their training and education, as a rule, must be based around averages. And averages are made up of extremes. They're not, including maybe one or two farms that are average.
Our fixed costs are now so high we can't afford to make mistakes. And what we've done is, because of our way of accounts analysis, historical accounting, comparative analysis they call it, but they're doing it the wrong way. Because of that, we have tended to overuse resources, which is causing us two problems. One is we're not making anywhere near as much money. In fact, as we've already shown, those last 6 or 8 cows were actually losing money for us, not gaining money for us. And the second thing is, it's doing the environment a hell of a lot of harm. And it's just showing up now. You hit a dry spell and it's been turned into an absolute drought because they've been using so much nitrogen that the whole system's out of kilter.
And we're talking, of course, about climate change and agriculture's role in that phenomenon, and we're talking about peak oil and how that will impact upon a system that's totally dependent upon petrochemical products. All of the things that are used in conventional agriculture, fertilisers, of course, pesticides, fungicides, herbicides, and of course diesel, all petrochemical based, and already, and we haven't reached halfway in this peak oil story yet, we're still a few months away, already we're seeing, of course, massive increases, 200–300% increases in most of the chemicals required, and it's really, really alarming, obviously, the farm community. So we're seeing, and from our perspective, a massive surge of interest. We've been 15 years and we've continued to grow fast. We've never seen anything like what we're seeing now, as people recognise that they do need to look at reducing their reliance upon petrochemicals, or simply it's going to be difficult to survive.
If you're thinking about organics, pick people's brains that are doing it well, successfully. Don't try and make the same mistakes, and get that soil right for a start. It starts in the soil.
Profit figures for this farm were in the top 10% for the country. Yet it's a very low input, very relaxed, low stocking system. As to the future of organics, I don't think the whole country is going to rush out and go organic. It's going to be slow organic growth, so to speak. But I see a real future for it, especially as we become more environmentally aware of the impact of intensive farming, and there's a lot more environmental pressure going on to farmers, and organic farming sits well with that. The other thing that's happening is the input costs of fertiliser, fuel, all those things. I mean, we have a cost of that as well, but conventional farming is more exposed to that sort of thing, and with the fuel situation and nutrient reserves around the world, fertiliser, that sort of thing, it's only going to go one way. And I believe the economic advantages of organics will increase as we go into that phase. So I think it's got a huge future.